when you need to submit T4A statements to the Canada Revenue Agency for vendor invoice amounts related to employment, such as subcontracts. Spire can print these forms or create an electronic file for upload. You can also make future corrections if necessary. In order to print T4A statements, you require a Spire payroll license to get access to the CRA settings within Spire. Before you can begin generating statements, you first have to ensure the current payroll year in company settings is correct, as the year prior to this will be used to generate forms. You may need to wait until a payroll year end is performed to set the required year here. To configure a vendor for supporting T4A statement maintenance, this is done from the General tab. In the Reporting section is a Report Type field, and from here choose T4A. You next need to provide an identification type, a social insurance number for a Canadian individual, or business number for a Canadian business. The social service number and employer identification number types are for American individuals or businesses. Also enter the identification number for the chosen type. You can also open the T4A Statements tab to see the past year forms, and even generate a new statement just for this vendor if desired. More likely, you will want to generate T4A statements for multiple or all vendors at once. This can be done from the Payroll top menu and the T4A Statements selection. This opens a screen with a complete list of T4A vendors and historical statements, which you could filter or search through if you wanted to locate a specific statement. Or use the Generate T4A procedure to create new records based on the invoice amounts net of taxes for the year prior to the current payroll year specified in company settings. Continuing, we'll put these new records on the list to verify prior to printing or submission. If you have the user security setting to manage T4As, you can highlight any record and open it to view the form values, with the invoice amounts listed in box 48 for services. Your company's account number is stored in company settings within the payroll section. You have the opportunity to enter an adjusted value if necessary and save it for this record, and also enter amounts for any of the other boxes in the financial information area or the other information area and selected amounts. Check for accuracy for vendor address and first and last names. And if you need to look up anything about this vendor, you could open the vendor record in a separate window from here. When all vendor T4A information is correct, you can then create the forms. Highlight one or multiple T4A records, or perhaps filter this list and display only the T4As for the required year. And then from the printer icon, you can print selected records or all visible on the list. From this screen, you can select the T4A standard and summary reports to print. The T4A standard report output is a two-part form, where the bottom part goes to each vendor, and the top part with the account number stays with you. The T4A summary report outputs the totals for all selected vendor T4A statements, which can be used for filling in the PDF accessible from the Canada Revenue website. If you prefer to upload T4A information to CRA, you can instead use the Export to CRA procedure to create the XML file for uploading. Ensure that Company Settings has your payroll account number prior to starting. When you click the Export button, a screen will appear with company information required with the upload file, including the company owner's social insurance number. The contact information here is populated from what you have in Company Settings for the payroll contact, and this can be adjusted as needed. Continuing from this screen will prompt you to save the XML file for uploading. Whether you upload vendor T4A information to CRA or use printed forms, after successful completion, the next step is to indicate that the T4A records have been remitted. For all selected T4As, using the Mark Remitted button will set the remitted date as today. This step is strictly to indicate in Spire that the T4As have been processed successfully and is not involved in that processing. After T4A submission and remittance, you might later on find out that there was a problem that needs to be fixed. If you have user security rights to view T4A records, you can change the status of a remitted T4A from original to either amended and make corrections, or cancelled to reverse an unchanged submission. If you save the T4A with either of these statuses, you have to submit the updated T4A back to CRA. And if you use the export process to do so electronically, make sure you choose a report type of either amendment or cancellation to match, where only T4As having this status will be selected to export. If you would like more information about Spire Accounting, access the link in the description below to our homepage. Read the online manual help for additional assistance. Watch more videos from this playlist. And subscribe to the Spire YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.